Woke up in a bad mood. They mad they can stop us. Shit, I will be mad too. Baby girl, you wildin'. They just call me island. Listen, fake news is everywhere, and you see it on your phone. You hear it from your friends, family, and you damn sure hear it on that TV. You can say that fake news is a new concept, but the ones who've been really paying attention understand that it's a tale as old as Udonis Haslem. Thank God this man finally retired. Bro finally opened up a roster spot for me. I know Jimmy Butler is sick of hooping with Paul Blart and friends. But listen, if fake news has been around for some time, what's the point of it all? But thankfully, in sports, we just use it to keep things entertaining. See, the NBA is a long season, so somewhere along this 82-game journey, this seemingly straight path becomes windy roads and steep hills. Along this road, we lose track of things and lose perspective. And when we lose perspective, we lose objectivity, which allows us to become susceptible to fake news during the NBA season. There's about 18 games left in this NBA season, and that means the playoffs are coming soon. In this video, I want to go over the Western Conference and the fake news that has seemingly spread with its playoff contenders, starting with the biggest frauds of all. Yes, the biggest frauds of all, the Denver Nuggets. With the Nuggets, I don't believe Jokic is good enough defensively to truly win a championship unless you just got a team of full defense. See, Jokic is an offensive mastermind, but I really believe that you have to build a team around him, kind of how you have to build a team around LeBron. A team around LeBron must have shooters. And in Jokic's case, I think a team around Jokic needs insane defense. Now, Murray is a really good player. Probably a top 10 point guard. Debate that in the comments. I don't know. But Murray's a really good point guard. And Porter is a really good floor spacer, really good wing player. But these guys just don't have that great defensive combination. And I'm just imagining, the Nuggets in a 7-game playoff series with Murray, Jokic, and Porter. I mean, that's barbecue chicken. And don't get me wrong, guys like Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, and KCP, these are all great defensive players, but they each all have their offensive liabilities. So how many of those guys are you going to be able to put out on the court? And with who? So I just have a hard time believing these guys will even make the finals. They're a great team. They had a good season, but the fake news surrounding this team is Nikola Jokic. I just can't see a world where a center who's average on defense can lead a team to the championship. It's barbecue chicken every single time. I promise. Next up, we have the Grizzlies. Okay, who here is putting money on the Grizzlies to win a championship? Exactly. Okay, but they have some talent, but they're absolutely nothing without Ja Wick, Ja Vaughn, Ja Morant. On a side note, this team needs to get one more piece or pray to something that one of their role players like Roddy becomes an amazing player. Guys like Kenny Lofton are cool, but do you really see these guys becoming something? Like, I just don't see any star potential truly on this team besides Ja Morant, and Desmond Bane's a great player too. Jaren Jackson's great as well. I mean, this team's alright. They're really a good team, but do they even have a puncher's chance? I mean, they haven't even made the Western Conference Finals, and we got dudes like Brooks talking crazy for no reason. The fake news with this team is, why were they even in the contender? Like, they're not a contender. They're mid. Sorry. Okay, next up we got the Kings. Kings, you guys are cool. You guys are really fun to watch. And this season was a big step, so no matter what happens in the playoffs, still an A+ season. That said, Sabonis is great, but he runs into similar problems like Jokic when it comes to that defense. I promise it's going to be hard to win games when your center is playing Dance Dance Revolution on the perimeter. I have a very simple philosophy. If your center is not that good on defense, I just don't think you have much of a chance, because how can you possibly ever have a good defense if you don't have a shot blocker? Or at least someone close to that. Sabonis is not a shot blocker. I'm sorry, he's not. He's a great player though. And Keegan Murray, great rookie year. Just keep doing your thing and you'll be alright. And he can certainly shoot the ball. Fox has been that dude since Kentucky, so I don't gotta say too much. And Malik Monk has been an absolute revelation. Lakers should have kept that guy. They're going to make some noise in the playoffs. And I'm going to say strong second round ceiling depending on the matchup. But yeah, these guys are contenders. Not yet. Just gotta keep building. But overall, Kings fans, you should be happy with your team. All right, next up is the Suns, and I've been waiting to talk about this team. All right, here's my thing with the Suns. Everyone and their baby mamas wanted to crown them champions because they got KD. Well, guess what? They got KD, but they also gave up two quality great players in Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, and you can see what they're doing in Brooklyn. Now, people think the Suns have a big three, and some crazy animals even think they have a big four. But I am here to tell you definitively that they have a big two, and that's it. It's KD and Devin Booker, and that's it. Christopher Emmanuel Paul is cooked. Don't let DraftKings put a line out when those hammies start to look like pulled pork. Chris Paul is cool, but he's cooked. And even before then, he never got it done in the first place. Devin Booker didn't get the job done, and KD only got the job done on the Warriors. You saw him in OKC, and you already saw how Brooklyn went. So you're gonna pair him up with a bunch of other chokers and just think that suddenly the work's gonna be done? Who's gonna get the job done? I mean, it's gonna be all in the hands of KD, and I mean, I don't know. Is he even gonna be healthy? That's the crazy part. Now, with DeAndre Ayton, I swear this man has the same mentality as James Wiseman. He's just not built for this, man. He does not have that dog in him. And if he did have a dog, it probably got bullied at the dog park. But long story short, if you're counting on DeAndre Ayton, counting on Chris Paul, you lost the game. Well, guess who's on the starting five of the Phoenix Suns? Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. You lost the game. I don't know what they're going to be doing, but they're not winning the damn championship. Alright, next up, we have the Clippers. Clippers, you have Russ on your team. Do I really need to say more? Alright, but if I have to say more, I mean, Kawhi's been great since January. I'm glad he runs on Kawhi time. PG is cool, but are you really counting on him? I mean, I guess you are, because he's probably your second best player. I mean, he definitely is your second best player, so like, you're counting on him. PG hasn't been the same to me since the OKC/Pacer days. I don't know, it's like he doesn't have that edge. I'm sorry, PG, if you're listening to this, but that's the best way to describe it. And they've got cool role players like Norman Powell and Terrence Mann, but if we're truly depending on those kind of role players for output, I mean, you lost. I'm sorry, you lost. Alright, next up, we got the Warriors. Whew, man, it's been a long season for this team that kicked off with Draymond Falcon punching Mr. Splash Man. But that's okay, because you know every movie needs a good intro. And I'm here to tell you that the Warriors are winning the chip. That's right, back to back. The fake news here is the Warriors' road record. See, that record would mean something if it belonged to any other team. I think the best way to simply explain the Warriors' road record is that they just check out at away games because they're the champions. They don't care about the regular season. And I think they can turn it on no problem during the playoffs. We see them doing it every time they're at home. It would be different if the home record wasn't so spectacular, but all they need to do is have some mix of that same intensity that they bring in their home games and focus and just put it out in away games and during the playoffs. This team is built for the moment, and they're simply sleeping giants waiting for the real game to start. Next up, we have the Mavs, and I could say the most heinous thing about this team, like how they should have signed Brunson. What does Jason Kidd even do? Why is your team construction like this? You telling me nobody else got playmaking badges besides Luka and Kyrie? This team can mess around and win the championship, but they could also not even make the playoffs. It's kind of hard to tell with these guys, but it's going to be fun regardless. Next up, the Lakers. The Lakers actually got help again. It's like the Avengers came back in Infinity War. I mean, it's about time something happened. It's not like this trade shouldn't have happened months ago, or just do something with Westbrook, period. It was clearly doomed from the start, so like, why even waste time this season? D'Lo and Vandalorian have been playing well, but Beasley can't hit a well. Yeah, I know I'm bogus, but the Lakers did their thing at the trade deadline, but it's a little too late. They could mess around and make noise in the playoffs, but that's about it. They really don't have that championship contender in them unless AD decides to be Superman instead of Mr. Glass. Next up, the Pelicans. Pelicans, y'all got a nice future, but you're still very far away from contenders, especially when Zion can't even play consistent minutes. Speaking of Zion, what's up with that? how long are y'all gonna keep putting up with these injuries? Like, you guys have a good squad, so all you need is another great player. Listen, I know it might sound crazy, but if another team calls me offering a trade for Zion, that's a really great player, even a superstar, I'm taking the first offer I get, because I'm sick and tired of this man getting injured. And does he even want to be in New Orleans? Because his body's already telling him no. And if he ever has a major injury, it's GG's. He's never playing another game in the NBA, I swear to God. And by major injury, I'm talking like torn ACL, Achilles. Like, I really don't think Zion would be ever able to recover from something like that. So you better pray it doesn't happen while he's on the Pelicans. Next up, we got the Thunder. First and foremost, Shea, please send me some drip. My brother needs some. Alright, this team is cool. And especially when they get Chet, it's going to be over for the league, for real. But for right now, it would be dope if they at least got to have some playing experience. They could still get a nice draft prospect, even if they make the play-in, so they might as well go and make it, regardless. Especially with the way they seem to draft and develop their players. Ooh, this team is going to be real scary. Especially with all those picks, it's over. Alright, next up, we have the Jazz. Marketing is cool, but that's all I can say. Walker, Texas Rangers, cool too. Then they really got like a Snow Mountain McKinley in the front court. Jordan Clarkson needs to be freed. He's who the Suns need low-key instead of campaign. Blazers, stuck in mediocrity. Fun to watch cause of Dame. But they need to blow this up bad. Blow it up now and fast. Keep shading obviously in Simons, or maybe retool this team, but like, who wants Nurkic? I think the only option is to blow this team. Spurs and Rockets, I'll see you in the draft. Alright, thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for part 2 for the Eastern Conference fake news, and we'll go over that. Thanks for watching. Peace. Angels look over my shoulder, devil in that holster, I can't feel a thing. I got dirty money, but I mixed it with the clean. I could give you everything, still won't feel a thing.